Samsung's latest announced phone goes up the most recent release before it. The differences between the two phones might be obvious. After all, one has a stylus built in. But there is more to the picture than meets the iris. Pun intended. What might be most exciting about this comparison is how the Galaxy S line can influence the future Galaxy Note. It's Joshua Vergara, what's going on everybody? And this is the Galaxy S9 versus the Galaxy Note 8. Design is actually a bit different between these two, and not just because of the size. The Galaxy Note 8 brings the 18:9 aspect ratio and a 6.3-inch screen that is a little bit too tall for some people if you're looking for good one-handed usage. That is why the Galaxy S line is often welcomed, because the smaller of the two makes handling more accessible. However, the Galaxy S9 Plus still has a 6.2-inch screen if you want to have more screen real estate. It's also no understatement to say that the S9 Plus is very similar to the Note 8, and that's because of more than just the screen. After all, the Galaxy S9 now brings the same two-lens setup that was first introduced in the Note 8. It now has a telephoto lens on top of the main lens, which has a number of improvements. But one of the best parts about looking at this camera module is that the fingerprint reader is no longer next to it, it is now below it, making it a lot easier to reach even if you're using the bigger model, definitely a lot easier than trying to reach the fingerprint reader on the Note 8. So the cameras are a big upgrade in the Galaxy S9 and the S9 Plus, but we're not just talking about the secondary lens. Yes, the telephoto lens on either phone comes at f2.4 aperture, but the main lens is the exciting prospect. Built into the mechanics is an actual opening and shutting iris. If you want to have more light and better depth of field effects, then opening it all the way to the f1.5 aperture brings in the bokeh, while the f2.4 closed aperture is better for wider frames or wider scenes. Now, these aperture changes occur automatically in the auto mode, of course. However, if you want to change it yourself, you can always go into the pro mode. And any people out there who have used DSLRs and are big photogs might really be excited by seeing a mechanical iris on a smartphone for the first time. The Note 8 kind of strikes the middle ground here with a single f1.7 aperture that is in the main lens on top of the telephoto lens that we've talked about already. Samsung is also adding multi-frame processing to their cameras in the Galaxy S9 line. The DRAM on the actual camera module itself will take dozens of photos and use all of them in order to create the best final shot. And that doesn't even take into consideration new modes that we have talked about in a camera feature focus video you can also see on this channel. Super slow motion is really fun. 960 frames per second at 720p resolution is always going to be a fun prospect, but trying to get that perfect shot might be a bit tough. That's why the auto mode figures out when the motion happens, so then it captures the motion in that super slow-mo. AR emoji is for all of those out there who might have Animoji envy, or you might just want to take Bitmojis to the next level. You can create an avatar with a lot of different customization options and then use the front-facing camera to actually move it around and make faces based upon what you are actually doing. So those camera modes and those enhancements are basically exclusive to the Galaxy S9 family, at least for now. The Note 8 will then step a little bit behind the pack, but it is incredibly important to remember that the Note 8 is more of a productivity phone as well. That's because of the S Pen. So many capabilities are baked into the stylus and its software, and the Note 8 is an incredibly capable machine. Use the S Pen as a sort of mouse for precision or easier item selection, for writing notes via various different methods, or even use it to just draw all over the place. And then of course there's Bixby. The Bixby button is over on the side and still provides the same level of assistance, but it has been somewhat enhanced in the Galaxy S9. It is able to recognize foods, and it is also able to do better live translation when you're using the augmented reality portion of the camera. Now these are features that we expect to come to the other Galaxy phones that have Bixby, so it's only a matter of time before a software update kind of bridges the gap here. So we've talked about camera and then also the productivity of the Note 8 in particular, but we can come back to the media consumption experience. The screens are incredible, but you also have the ability to have great audio now on the Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus, powered by Dolby Atmos. There are two speakers now, one on the bottom and one on the front that is integrated into the call speaker, and together they provide much louder sound than any other Samsung device before. The rest of the phone is what you would probably expect. The performance gets an upgrade to the Snapdragon 845, and the S9 Plus closes the RAM gap by bringing 6GB of RAM, much like the Note 8. One interesting tidbit here is that the Galaxy Note 8 is the middle child in terms of battery life, sporting 330 mAh compared to 3000 and 3500 for the Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus, respectively. It should come as no surprise that the Galaxy Note 8 is still a very viable choice. What is exciting is that the Galaxy S9 is bringing a couple of new features here, like dual speakers and the mechanical iris, that could very well make it to the next Note device. The Galaxy S9 is available for pre-order starting March 2nd, and users around the world can trade in their phones to get a deep discount on the new phone. Especially if you have a Note 8 and you decide to trade it in, you'll get that deep discount, and the S9 or the S9 Plus will be more affordable for you. Now, keep it tuned to Android Authority for more about the Galaxy S9 and about Mobile World Congress here in Barcelona. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, do all of that good stuff, and head on over to AndroidAuthority.com for even more, because we are your source for all things Android.